Hey all, welcome back. So we have built white and yellow and we have got this. Now just look at it, look around and then see. You see a well formed layer here. So it's easy for us to move it, replace one of these layers which is on the right hand side without touching the core. If you see such layers where it is 3 or 4, it's easy for you to replace. All you're going to do is replace one piece with 3 pieces. So that way it's easy, right? So what you need to do is you move this down and then rotate this and then move it up. So what you have done is you have replaced one piece by a 3. So now we got something formed closer. So we are left with 1 and 2 of the edge centers and then we will go into the corners. But for this edge centers again we have to follow the same principles. So let us see where here is one. Okay, so now as you see it is like 2 pieces, or we can see this is actually closer. So let's solve this. So it's again on the 3 and the 3 in the buffer is in your front facing buffer is actually free. So you do the same principle, 4r prime, right, f, and then 5r prime, and then do a f prime, and then 4r, do a f again, and then do a 5r. So now you have brought this piece from here to here. So this has actually solved this. We are left with one more edge. As you saw before, there is one piece here which is two sides away from here. It's just in the back side. So as always I do, I'll bring it closer. So I'll move this piece which is here to here. How do I do that? I just move this up and then rotate this and then bring it back. So that way you are not disturbing the existing piece and you have actually brought this closer to the orange. Now the orange again, it is on the 3 and look for the piece that it needs to be fixed in. This is the 3 that is unsolved. So the 3 is on the pivot and 3 is buffer. So do the same thing. Do a 4r prime and then f and then 5r prime, f prime, 4r, f, 5r. So now you see this is solved. So actually you have completed the orange cross and we are now left with 3 of the 4 pieces. One is already solved because we moved 3 pieces together. One is already solved. So we are left with 3 more pieces. Let's see where they are. There is 1 here and 2 here. So 2 is closer. So let us solve that first. As we normally do, we put the buffer on the top for the corner pieces, buffer on the top and the pivot in facing you. So now this is close. It is in 4 and 16 is your buffer, 4 is your pivot, and what you need to do is you need to move the 5r prime and then f prime, 5r, move it away which is on the right, so you need to move it to the f prime and then move it to the 2l 2l prime, and then you need to rotate it with the u2 and then 2l. So now you have actually moved this piece which is here to here, and in a way you have also brought this down. So you are left with the other one. Do the same thing again. Move it down, move it left, move it right, and then rotate it away, move it out, do it, bring it back. So now you are left with only one piece, and the one piece is 2 slots away. We will do normally what we do, right? We move it up, rotate it, move it back. So here it's coming closer to the buffer. It's again in the pivot, so I will have the buffer on the left, move it down, right, move it up, form the line, it should go here, but I'll have to move to the right because it is in the left. I'll move to the right, rotate it, bring it down, bring it. So now we've got orange solved. Wow, at least the center. Don't be too happy because the edges are not solved. So you got yellow, orange and white. So our next target is green. So this, if you see this, you'll be tempting to build the red here because you've got 3 reds, but you have to have the green here because if you face orange with yellow on the top, the left side should be green. You cannot build a red here. Red should be at the back. Okay, so now we have to build the green here. So look for the green. In here you have the 2 pieces of green. Rotate it up, make a U2 and then rotate it down. So now you have gotten the center. Now again, keep in mind you should keep the permutation will depend on the how you are keeping the phase and your top. So this is top. So now this is your phasing side. It is green. Now you are left with two more greens to fill. Let's look for where the two pieces are. Okay, there they are, which is two pieces away. And here you don't want to disturb this because it's already fixed, but this is free, so you can move this up. All we need to do is move this up, do a U2, move it down. So that way you are moving this piece up, right? So now this is closer to the green. And if you see, remember, you have a yellow on the top. This is your green. Even though it is looking to be a two piece and two piece here, this cannot be the green because it's facing the orange. So this should be red. So keep this back and keep your green facing you because this is your buffer. And here is your pivot. Now this is interesting. If you have a 2 and you have already a 2, then you can do it in one shot by doing this principle. Keep them in the same line as they are. Okay, and it should be again in the left hand side and left hand side. So what you need to do is move the, this is your pivot, this is your buffer. Move the pivot to the buffer, do a F2 and then move the pivot back. So now you see that it has formed the green and it is in line with what we wanted. Yellow on the top, orange facing you, left side is green, your green core center is formed. Okay, now you have formed the core center. You also build the green around it and make the full green center. So how do we do that? Let's see now. So here you see, okay, now you have more combinations coming because we are doing the other way. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to replace, there is nothing here, I'm just going to replace it, but keep in mind this orange is here. So if you want this green to come here, you need to move it and then rotate it and then move it back. Keep in mind, otherwise this will be distorted. So now you have brought this down. Now again there is a 2 here, there is nothing here. So you will be tempted to have this. Instead you look at this. You have 1, 2 and 3 and you have nothing here, right? So it's easy for us to build the 1, 2 and 3 here. So what you do is you move this down, rotate it with the U2, I mean F2 and then you rotate it back. So now you have gotten this orange as it is, yellow and white undisturbed, and your green is now built fast because of the combinations. You are left with the see, now while we do this we will be distorting some of them. That's why I said you should be careful about doing it, but in the interest of time and solving things faster we are doing this. Now if you see this is your green and your edge is here and this edge is the unsolved one. So this is on the top, move it down, move it back, move it down, move it to the right, bring it up, move it back. So now you are again retain the core with one of the edges down and this edge is on the top. Do the same thing again. Move it back. So now you see this, sorry, I think when in the interest of solving some of the puzzles, I actually distorted the green. But if you see this, the green is again, you have the corners and you are left with one more edge to build. And where is that edge? Let us see, it's here. So move this edge to the second piece, which is actually closer to it. So what you do, you move this up, rotate it, move this down. So your orange is intact. Now this has come closer. So move this to the buffer position and your pivot is here, your buffer is here. Down, left, down, right, up, left, up. Wow, you are left with only one corner piece to solve. And the corner piece will be here, which is two pieces away. So as always, I'll move this up with one and then rotate it, bring it down. So this way you are not disturb the other ones and you're left with closer. Since it is the 16 versus the 4, you always have the buffer on the top, right? So 16 is where it should go, which is the buffer, and 4 is the pivot. So this is fine. Move it down, rotate it to the left, move it up. So now you have formed the line. It should go to the right. Since it should go to the right, move it to the left. And then move it up, rotate, move it down. Now you see that you have formed the 1, 2, 3, 4. We are left with 2 more. I'll explain you how to do it. This will be faster because they are already forming the centers. Just be careful about green, opposite should be yellow. Even though it will be tempted to do red, it should be, green opposite should be blue and orange opposite should be red. I'll explain you in the next clip. Till then, small break.